We've spoken very early on about JavaScript not being a strongly typed language. However, we've seen that objects in JavaScript do have types. They can be numbers, strings, booleans, or an object which you define using an object constructor. There is a way to figure out what type an object is by using the type of keyword. JavaScript has a very helpful operator called type of. This helps you check the type of an object. Once the object exists and you have a variable referencing that object, you can use type of to figure out what kind of object it is. It's pretty useful because since JavaScript is not strongly typed, there are no type names that you can see when a variable is declared. So there's no way to see once a variable is declared and initialized what type that variable is. Type of will help you there. Let's see how we can use this type of operator. Notice the 5 console.log statements on screen. They use the type of operator and see what types JavaScript returns for each of these values. It's important to note here is that type of can also be used with variables that are assigned these values as well as values directly. For example, if you had a variable num which is equal to 1, 2, 3, type of num will give you the same value of as type of 1, 2, 3. Let's look at the very first example. Here we say type of 1, 2, 3, but 1, 2, 3 is specified in quotes. Anything that's specified in quotes is a string. Whether numbers are specified in quotes or whether there are alphanumeric characters, alphabets, and so on, anything in quotes is a string. So when you call type of on a quoted string, you'll get string. The next example once again deals with 1, 2, 3, but there are no quotes present. This is a number. Calling type of on 1, 2, 3 without the quotes means it's a number and it will be used as a number in JavaScript. Type of 1, 2, 3 without quotes returns number when you execute this bit of code. The same goes true if you had a variable which is equal to 1, 2, 3. If the 1, 2, 3 was in quotes, that variable would have a type string. If a variable num was equal to 1, 2, 3, where 1, 2, 3 was not specified in quotes, type of num would be a number. The next example prints out the type of undefined. We spoke about undefined being a special value in JavaScript used to represent something which does not exist. The type of undefined is again a special type, undefined. So undefined is a real type in Java. The non-existence is undefined. The next example after this looks at the type of an array. If you remember, the empty square brackets denotes an array. The empty square brackets is actually an object. All arrays are objects in JavaScript. So when you say type of empty square brackets, you'll get object. This just proves to us that arrays are objects as well. This is an important point and you'll do well to remember this. Arrays are also objects at the heart. And the last console.log statements tries to find the type of true. True and false are Boolean variables and they are supported in JavaScript. Type of true will return Boolean, indicating this is a special type which is different from strings, numbers, and objects. Type of true or type of false will return Boolean. You might have noticed one thing here though. Any type of object will simply return object. Say you have two types of objects, rectangles and triangles. They have different properties. Everything is different. If you call type of on a rectangle and type of on a square or a triangle, it will still say object. It will not tell you that it's a rectangle or a square or a triangle. Type of is not smart enough to distinguish between different types of objects. It can tell you it's an object, number, string, boolean, yes, but it cannot differentiate between objects of different types. There is another keyword, another operator which helps you do this, and it's called instance of. Instance of knows how to differentiate between different types of objects. So if you want to know the types, as in whether it's an object, string, number, or boolean, you'll use type of. But if you want to know where this object was constructed from, you'll use instance of. And we'll see that in the next example.